Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about, say it with me, Latino everything. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your presence. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave us a comment because we have another amazing episode for you. We have a legend in the house. He is Mr. formerly known as Eternal, an artist, MC, done podcasting before. His manager for G-Love, Animes, and Powda. Texas OG, also part of Latin Embassy, been part of Hate Approved as well, and now New Wave Records, originally from Dallas, Texas, brand ambassador for Texican Clothing.
Texican Clothing.
Mr. Never Die in the house.
Hey, what's good, Crispin?
What's up? I had to do the intro all over again. I had you here before. You'll be here before, and I appreciate it. But I'm like, let me just run it through one more time.
All love, bro. All love. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do the preguntas al chile with you individually, but I added extras. You're gonna find out.
Preguntas al Chile.
We're gonna touch your Puerto Rican side because I don't know if y'all knew this, but my man is half Puerto Rican, half white, Caucasian,
white,
Americano, gringuito.
Yeah.
Ready? Tacos or tortas?
Tacos.
Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
Corn.
Gorditas or sopes?
Gorditas.
Mexican coca or jarrito?
Mexican coca.
Agua de horchata, Jamaica, or tamarindo?
Horchata.
Now, this is what I'm going to mess you up. Bistec encebollado or tripleta?
Bistec.
Bistec. Arroz con gandules or mofongo?
I never had either one of those.
Yeah? This is a Puerto Rican dish.
Yeah.
We need to get you in tune with your
For
Puerto
real.
Rican side. One of them is made out of plantains, and the other one's rice with, like, I believe it's a bean.
Okay.
So which one would you pick? Plantains or the rice and beans?
Plantain.
Yeah, me too. I tried to make them. It was a failure.
Yeah.
Couldn't make them. If y'all have a recipe for it, please leave in the comments so I can make some, because I really was craving some, and, you know. Okay, here we go. Salsa verde, salsa roja.
Salsa verde.
Churros o flan?
Flan.
Valentina, tapatio, cholula.
Valentina.
Conchas, the pastries, the green ones. The green ones, yeah. Okay. The brown ones, the white ones, or the pink ones?
The white ones.
We're gonna go back to the old episode. We're gonna put them side by side.
Hey, man, I evolved.
See if your palate changed from the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get tired of the same old thing.
Right. This is a new question for you. What is a conspiracy theory that when you heard, you were like, man, that has to be true? What would that be?
JFK's assassin was a driver.
The driver?
Yeah.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one.
You've heard that one?
I haven't heard that one.
The
I'm
guy
here in Dallas
to
too.
hold a pale horse, the book, the guy says it in there.
He says that.
Yeah.
He is the one that. But how, though? He was...
Because he knew, no, not the driver, but the guy that wrote the book. Said he worked for the government. He knew a whole bunch of conspiracies and stuff.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Huh. Okay, so when you hear the word Latino, Latina, or Latinx, what first comes to mind?
Unity.
Unity. Same answer as last time.
Yeah.
Kept the same. And do you care if you're called Latino? Do you mind? Do you prefer to be called the different?
No, I like Latino.
You like Latino?
Yeah.
You like the word Latino?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's touch up on your Puerto Rican roots. Do you know how your family got to Texas?
Yeah.
Have they always been here in Texas? Can you just give us a little bit of the scoop?
Well, my mom and my grandma and my tia and my tío, they're in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up leaving my grandpa. So then they went to Cali. And then from there, my grandma, she got a job as a flight attendant. So then from there, they moved to New York. And then that's where my mom and my dad met because they were like neighbors. First, my dad was, he was best friends with my tío, but then he got with my mom and then he went to the Air Force. So they came to San Antonio.
And that's how they ended up in Texas.
Yeah.
And then in Dallas?
And then he got a job in Plano at Texas Instruments.
Instruments. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You see it off the road.
Yeah.
And that's how you ended up in Dallas.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know if y'all know this, right? But I'm not the only one that says it. And I know I bring it up often because people really don't know that Puerto Rican people are citizens of the U.S. They don't have to renew paperwork. They don't have to. And the only reason I know this is because people have those thoughts is because somebody had asked a Puerto Rican guy, like, how often do you have to renew your whatever? I'm like, never.
Yeah, it's been like that for a minute.
Yeah, they're.
I think it happened when I was like a kid.
Yeah. And then people in my comments be like on TikTok, be like, I can't believe you don't know that. I'm like, there's a lot of people that don't know.
Yeah, facts.
It's not only me.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, because it happened a long time ago, you know.
Yeah, so I have to tell it for the people that don't know that Puerto Rico is a territory and the people that are born in Puerto Rico are citizens. And if I'm not mistaken, they're not able to even vote on a federal election, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, I think I'm almost correct.
Oh, really?
That's pretty dope, though, that you and so you grew up in Dallas, the Dallas area?
Yeah.
And specifically any area, Westino?
I mean, like, first it was East Plano. That's where, yeah. And then I went to Wiley for a while and then started moving around like the Garland area and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's touch back a little bit on your rapping. So when was it that the first time that you were inspired to maybe want to get into music? What did you see? Who did you heard? Or was there any influence within people around you? Or was it something that you saw? I know that SPM was something that you seen and gave you a little hope that maybe there's somebody like you, Brown, un poquito güerito, but a little brown can do something like that. So when was that?
Man, I first started wanting to do music when I was listening to Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. Like, nice. Smells Like Teen Spirit. The first time I saw that video, I'm part of the MTV generation, you know what I'm saying? So just videos would always catch my attention. I spent my whole summer just watching videos and just trying to learn, listening to lyrics. I always loved lyrics. And then I first wanted to rap when I heard Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
You heard the whole album and something in there triggered.
Yeah, something clicked. And I didn't even listen to that much rap. I listened to a lot of Death Row releases like Doggy Style and The Chronic, Above the Rim soundtrack, all that. I buy all the Death Row albums. But when that album came out, I was like, yeah.
So mostly you were first on MTV, like rock, but then when that change happened, that album dropped, All Eyes on Me, even though you heard a little bit of the other Death Row, this is the one that...
Yeah.
Any particular song that you liked about that album?
Ambitions as a Rider, No More Tears. Man, there's just Shorty Wanna Be a Thug. There's so many good songs on there.
What connected with those lyrics, those projects, the music that you felt more like there was some type of connection to you that you were able to relate to that body of work?
I think what I liked the most was the pain, but the confidence he had. That was one thing about rock music. Like, it wasn't very confidence building, you know what I'm saying? But when I heard Tupac, I started listening to more rap, it would build up my confidence. So
you walk with a swag whenever you finish.
Yeah.
Listen to the car, get out, like, what's up?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, so after that, you were met with the other gentleman from S.L.O.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, I heard an interview, you were the one that actually came up with the idea of beginning to do the rap group.
Yeah, rapping.
So were you already rapping at that time and try to practice on it, or not really?
Really, I was just writing.
You were writing.
And I wanted to get into music more.
So how did y'all meet?
High school.
So y'all were just homies running around?
Yeah, we were all in the same clique, and then they ended up, really it was just me and him there at the end because he was a senior and I was a junior. And then that's when we started hanging out.
So y'all got together amongst the clique, and then all of a sudden, he wasn't really into the music, or was he doing music too?
Nah, really neither one of us was, but I was like starting to write poems and stuff like that.
Where'd the idea of becoming or creating a group or even beginning to dive into actually doing some rap come from?
I'd probably say Master P.
So when you saw No Limits and the way they were doing it, you said,
I want to start a record label,
So you wanted to go ahead and begin to do the whole record label.
Yeah.
And then you brought him the idea?
Yeah.
What did he say at first to you?
I mean, he actually believed me.
Yeah?
Yeah. He was the first one.
And he never rapped?
No.
Ever?
No.
But you said...
But then once I told him that he started freestyling all the time, he'd just always be practicing freestyling.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he started freestyling, you were still writing, and all of a sudden now y'all get more serious and go invest some money buying some beats.
Yeah. First we bought some equipment.
You bought some equipment?
Yeah. And
so you wanted to record yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were going to try to make beats ourselves and all that. And
how did that go?
Didn't work. Neither one of us had the patience.
None of y'all?
So we tried a little bit, and then we ended up taking the equipment back, and then that's when we hit up Pimpster.
So it was only y'all two. It's always been just
No, and
y'all
then his
two.
brother Wrath.
So that's the one that was incarcerated.
Yeah.
So it was three of y'all. Where was
Yeah.
he as far as the high school? Where was he already a graduate?
Yeah, he had already graduated.
He already
That was
graduated.
this
So he's a lot older?
Yeah, a couple years older.
Okay. So it was three of y'all in the beginning, and mostly it was Esalok and his brother rapping first on the first project. You were a little bit
I was on one song. I was kind of more behind the scenes.
So more executive producer, you mean you were more of the funder for that project?
Nah, not that one. I was just like kind of like, hey, rap here. I mean, that's always what I've done in the studio. Like I just kind of got a ear like, this should go here, this should go here. My brain just breaks it down like that.
Okay, so that project is called
Salsa Vatos.
Salsa Vatos.
Yeah.
So Salsa Vatos. So y'all went and saw the equipment. It didn't work out for y'all. Y'all didn't have the patience, all three of y'all, to make beats.
Yeah.
But then y'all found out about Pinsta because y'all were listening to him.
Yeah.
So y'all listened to him. How did y'all even find out how to contact him?
Man, back then on the back of the album, I had your number and address. Yeah. You could call the number or write the address.
So you hit him up.
Yeah.
And who's the one that called him?
Esalok.
And what did he say? Hey, I want to buy some beats?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Yeah, we trying to get in the game. Can you give us some info? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he did for a price, but he wanted to see we're serious at the same time, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because so easy to give free game, but sometimes it's like some people are they're not grateful. Yeah. They're not appreciative.
Especially when they get it for free.
Exactly. And especially when a guy that is hot and then his stuff is getting spun and he's being known in Dallas and you're like fairly new.
Yeah.
Who knows how many of you, like people like you, hit them up every day. So, I mean, I don't knock the hustle for trying to get paid for what he's doing. You know, he's out there. Thanks. So y'all appreciated that fact. Yeah. Y'all knew it was business. Yeah. And y'all were willing to invest that money. Yeah. So y'all went and bought, I think it was $2,000, and y'all paid some front, and then y'all got 10 beats?
Yeah.
How many beats was it?
I think it might have been a little bit less because he screwed and chopped a couple. I think it was more like 6.
Yeah.
6 to 8, somewhere around there, and then he screwed and chopped a couple for us.
And then who told y'all where to go record professionally?
He did.
He told you, go to this guy right here?
Yeah, we went to Dub One Studio with Steve Paul.
Steve Paul, Dub One Studio, go over here, he'll record y'all, and then that's another investment that you had to do.
Yeah.
So, again, it was Wrath first, and then it was SLO just mostly, and you were just kind of sort of the ear telling them, hey, do this. It sounds better if you do this.
Yeah. And then I was going to work on my solo album.
You were going to work on your solo.
Yeah.
So there were going to be Latin Embassy, you were going to be something different, or the whole label was Latin Embassy?
No, I was going to be Eternal, and they were going to be Latin Embassy.
Latin Embassy.
Yeah.
When did you choose Eternal? Why did you choose Eternal?
Esalok's the one that gave it to me, because he said since it was my idea to do the music, that I was going to live forever through my music. So he's the one that said, Eternal's a dope name. I was like, yeah, fuck with it.
Okay. Tell me about the Latin Embassy name. So I know that it's off of a restaurant that used to be in the embassy, and kind of sort of, it sounds kind of dope.
Yeah.
But y'all couldn't call it the Mexican embassy because you're Latino, you're Puerto Rican, so y'all went and decide that it was going to be Latin Embassy.
Yeah.
So is that how it came to be?
Yeah.
Or was there?
Yeah, there's I can't remember the full name of the restaurant, but it's on the east side of Plano, right off of 75. It's something Embassy. So that's where, I think it was Wrath. He's like, man, Embassy, that sounds like a dope name. So, and we were all in the car, we were fucking with it.
So like Embassy it is.
Yeah.
Was there any runner-up names for the label at that time?
Man, I don't even remember, bro.
No?
I don't even remember.
So around the car, Embassy, and all of a sudden it just, boom.
Clicks.
Yeah. That's dope. And then the Latin part, when was it that y'all decided to incorporate it? Y'all liked Embassy.
Yeah. I think it was pretty quick.
Within the same conversation, you'd be like, Latino, Latin Embassy.
Latin Embassy.
Dope. Okay, so at its peak, Latin Embassy, I'm talking about sales, I'm talking about shows, I'm talking about out-of-town shows, I'm talking about being known. How big did y'all get? Doing the 2000s to, was it about 2003 or so?
Yeah, we're getting real big in the state of Texas, everywhere kind of except Houston. But that was kind of our goal. We'd always hit the small cities because they show the most love, you know, especially you say you're from Dallas, you say you're from Houston, they're going to show that love. So, we were on the road a lot. My bad, what was the question?
You good. So how big was it? Did you say at its peak, Latin Embassy, how big did y'all get? I'm talking about, if you don't mind disclosing around a rough estimate of how much was it the money that y'all were making for show or overall selling CDs out of the trunk?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the biggest show that y'all got to do, And as far as just like overall in general in Texas, how big would you think y'all were within the mix of all the rappers that were coming up in the 2000 to 2003?
I mean, a lot of people were saying that we were gonna be up next after Dope House, after Latin Legacy, after Shut 'Em Down, and then that's kind of where we were a little bit placed.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, Houston was the one market that we didn't get into, and that was such a big market.
What was it that y'all were not able to break through Houston?
I mean, I think a lot of Houston is homegrown love, you know.
So
Houston represents Houston heavy.
Did y'all made an effort to try to collaborate with some of the people coming out?
Yeah.
Who were, and then
we did a lot. Like we did the track with Baby Bash, which was one of our biggest songs. We worked with Rashid. I said worked with Low G, and then back then we were mostly doing Dallas artists when we first came out. But like we did the track with Baby Bash, and especially once we went solo, we started working a lot more with Houston artists.
And that was closer more towards the end.
Yeah,
that may be the reason why it just didn't catapult you to the next level. You think?
Yeah, I mean, we just stopped. We kind of split up, so that kind of stopped all the motion we had.
All right, so let's go back. What is the most that y'all think y'all have made? That's Latin Embassy as far as money wise.
I mean, in a weekend?
In a weekend, or maybe y'all did the math in a year.
I mean, because we usually sell about 100 CDs easy every weekend.
And that's
like
about
on Sunday. Yeah, from 15 to 10 to 5, depending on the city. Like the smaller cities where we weren't known didn't have radio play, we'd sell it for 5 there. So that way we could spread it out. And we'd have the headphones and all that, put it on their ears so they could check it out.
Okay. And then as far as the biggest show that y'all did?
My favorite one, I'd probably say, was Artist Square for Can to Win. That was one of my favorites.
The Latin Energy Fest?
Yeah, Latin Energy Fest.
Yeah.
And then in Midland, Odessa, we used to do some badass car shows over there.
Yeah.
In November.
What is the biggest crowd that you think y'all seen?
I mean, back in the day, it'd be like at least 1,000 easy.
1,000 easy.
Yeah.
And that's
because the lowrider shows were so big back then, so everybody would go, you know?
Yeah. So whose idea? So I believe it was your idea to hit the road and hit other. That's what made y'all different from the artists here in Dallas. They were hitting the road, hitting the smaller market.
Really? I think that was S.A. Loke's idea. Yeah.
So what he saw that you feel like it was like, damn, we need to go. There might be more potential over there for us to sell. Because I know he has an entrepreneur mentality. He sees opportunity as far as making some money. And then even though Dallas was doing good, if he wanted to expand it, it's only obvious that it would be the road, right?
Yeah.
So you know where he get the idea? He got the idea?
I mean, that's what... I don't know exactly where, but I know he definitely wanted to expand.
Yeah. So y'all started, what was the first out-of-town show that y'all do?
Ooh, that one I don't even remember, man, to be honest with you. But we'd hit up San Antonio all the time, Houston, of course, Midland, Odessa, Wichita Falls, Waco, all over.
Yeah.
Corpus Christi.
Yeah. And then why did y'all wanted to do the shows, the lowrider shows? What made you want to be in that area?
Especially a lot of shows SPM was at, because you knew if SPM was there, the crowd was going to be there. The people were going to come see SPM.
So y'all were kind of sort of mirroring the path that he was doing as far as the shows y'all were hitting.
Yeah.
And then sometimes y'all will perform, or sometimes y'all would just go
and be in the parking lot selling CDs.
Yeah. And here and there, sometimes y'all got a show.
Yeah.
And then y'all got paid for the shows too.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's badass. So
I miss CD days, man.
Man. You know what? A microwave rollie still says profitable. He sells merchandise, at least shirts, out of his trunk.
Yeah.
Like often.
Yeah.
And a lot.
Yeah.
And he still made a good point that some people still have. I know the technology is beautiful. I know everybody has smartphones, but some people, whatever, they don't change their ways as far as a CD.
Especially the smaller towns.
So I needed to clip that part. I think I did a little short that said, like, you know, they have a certain year of a car and they need a good CD. He's the one to provide it.
Already.
So,
and I still got DVDs too with like all my videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of lowrider people like those.
They have screens.
Yeah.
So they can show still. So, do you remember your first show that you ever did with Latin Embassy? Where was it?
It was at the Lick. Rest in peace, Big D.
Yeah. It was a club?
Yeah. It was an after-hour spot.
After hours. Till what time?
Till 4 a.m.
So when did y'all go in, and how big how was the crowd?
It was about 3 a.m. He usually had performances like about 3:15, and it was a nice crowd, man. Big D always do the best after parties. They would be packed. First it was the Lick, then it was Suavemente.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all hit up. How long did y'all perform for? Did y'all do a couple songs?
Yeah, we did a couple songs. Back then, songs were longer. They'd be like 4 or 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
So you do like 3 songs, 15 minutes, something like that.
So how was the crowd?
It was cool. They loved
How
it,
did
man.
you feel to hit the stage the first time and be in front of people? I don't know if you were ever shy or not.
Yeah, I was always really, really shy. So I didn't know how it was going to work out.
Yeah.
So I was nervous. Then I started rapping and all my fear just went away. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Yeah. Just like.
And I was always really nervous, really anxious. Like, so it was crazy. Once I started rapping and I just felt free, I was like, yeah, this is my purpose.
Yeah. That's dope. That's badass. So if you don't mind me asking, just for the fact of if another rapping crew that's coming up, young crew, that might be able to learn from the things, the reason why y'all broke up, is there a particular reason why y'all broke up? Looking back, it was maybe not the smartest thing, or maybe we could have been avoided if something else was done?
I mean, even Baby Bash had told me, like, he's like, bro, don't leave from Latin Embassy. He's like, I heard you gonna leave. He's like, don't leave from Latin Embassy because it's gonna be 2 times harder to make your name again. And I was hard-headed because we just started Latin Embassy and we were succeeding. So I was like, I could do it again. It's gonna be easy. But it wasn't, because now you got to rebrand yourself, market, and you got to get everybody to know Eternal. And before everybody knew Latin Embassy, Candy Coated Records. So, and then that's when I had my first son. So it was real hard with funds and stuff like that. That's when everybody started downloading. So it's like a perfect storm hit, just like a perfect storm hit for us to blow.
Yeah. So what was it? Why was the reason that you wanted to leave? It was just because you were starting a family, more focusing on that, or what was it?
Yeah, we both kind of started focusing on our families more.
So it started growing apart. It wasn't like y'all had a fight or an issue.
I mean, we had a little falling out. It was some bullshit.
Am I getting too personal with it that you don't want to share?
Well, I don't want to say what it was, but we did get in an argument, and we're both being prideful and hard headed. And
I respect it because I don't want to put his business out there if he's not here either. But it's good that. Hello, we're jumping in just to let you know to make sure you subscribe and hit the notification if you are enjoying the podcast. Thank you very much. And now back to the episode. If y'all was to do it again, based on Baby Bash and different people saying not to do it, like, it was cool that y'all were able to now see it and be like, man, it could have been a little different.
Yeah.
But you never know either because, like you said, the digital wave was coming, downloads and everything. So who knows?
Yeah, and that was the dark years, man. Nobody wanted to put albums out because it wasn't profitable at all. There wasn't streams or anything. So
nobody was hitting the streets. There's probably no trunks.
So many people started retiring and getting jobs. And
and then after that, you started making your way to Houston with Haterproof. Was that around the same time? Or did you took a long break from music?
No, I went solo for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, I went solo here in Dallas. I did pretty good. And then I started to retire.
Yeah. So Candy Code, what was the name of the record?
Candy Coated Records.
Candy Coated Record was the one for Latin Embassy. That's the actual record label. Yeah. And then did you start your own label?
I started Never Die Records.
Never Die Records.
Yeah.
And then that's when you began to transition to Never Die.
Yeah, to Mr. Never Die.
Eternal.
Yeah. Well, not really, but I knew in the future I would have to. I knew Eternal was too common of a name.
Yep.
So I could foresee I was going to have problems.
So I remember you discussing that the reason why you rather just be easier to find than Eternal and be in the midst of a bunch of freaking searches.
Everybody was complaining. They're like, we can't find you. We can't find your music. So I was like, nah, I got to change that.
You type Mr. Never Die, you'll pop up immediately.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then after that, you retire, kind of, sort of, and then what lit up the fire again to start making music, and then when did Haterproof come about?
I moved to Houston and for a job. I was kind of stuck in the country. I was living out in Canton, and I couldn't get out of there, man, because anywhere I would get a job, I'd have to drive, and then I wasn't going to make a lot of money there. I had 4 kids, one on the way, so I was kind of getting stuck. So I went to my friend's house in Houston, and he was telling me he had a job opportunity that was probably going to come up. So he got me in and helped me out. So I moved out there for work. And then I kept talking to Big C's. He had the Haterproof shop open at the time. And then he told me he was working on a track with that boy T called Fast Life, Slow Music.
That boy T?
Yeah. And he got me on the track with him, and that's when it started sparking up again.
So, and then after that, you joined shortly after with them, or you did a couple projects with them before they?
Yeah, I did. I sure wasn't sure after that song. Then I went to Abilene. My boy Poetic Thug brought me out there. We did a show with Gemini. And then I started getting a little bit hungry. And then my boy DJ Ao, he had me come out to San Diego. So I flew out to San Diego. I stayed with him a couple weeks. And we started working around in the studio. And that's when I really started getting inspired. I'm like, yeah, I want to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it that he took you over there for? Just to show you around?
No, because he stayed over there. Yeah.
So he was going to take you to do some music stuff over there?
Yeah, and he has a studio. So he told me to come through and just work.
Yeah. Did you do any projects over there?
We did a couple songs, but we didn't release anything.
Yeah.
I was going to try to do a mixtape while I was over there, but I was too rusty.
You were too rusty?
Yeah,
it took a minute?
Yeah.
Well, you still riding doing this brief retirement? You weren't doing nothing.
No.
Like music was out the question.
But my brain always has to have things to think about. So I noticed like I'd get real into basketball. And I start learning all the stats, and my mind is very obsessive. So I start just wanting to know information about basketball. So it's kind
I
of
get what you're saying.
It's kind of annoying to the person that loves me because my mind's always going on different statistics and things like that. I always want to know more.
So it was the same thing for music whenever you went to. It was an excessive thing to learn the craft, to learn how to write it, how to structure it, lyrics, everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I got into fishing. I got obsessed with that. so
you're just an obsessive person.
Yeah.
And then after that, shortly after you came back and the conversation started flowing with Big C's about joining.
Yeah.
Did they invite you? Did you invite yourself?
They invited me.
They said
Big Caesar did a song with Kid Frost that day, and he invited us all to the studio afterwards. And then we just started talking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm bringing Haterproof Click back." And then they asked if I wanted to be in it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm with it."
Yeah. And how long did that run go for?
Maybe a year. Me and Big C, we're working on an EP together, but then that's when he switched to Christian music.
And then you were not feeling the Christian music at that time? It wasn't your lane?
No, it's not my lane.
Yeah. And then
I really would have to change my complete life and make sure everything was right for me to do something that important,
You're not disqualifying it, but
no,
it's just not for you or whatever. And you wanted to respect what he was doing because it wasn't what your mind was at. That was dope. And then after that, now we find ourselves in the present time as far as you doing music, continue to do music, work on music.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you began doing...
That's when I started Mr. Never Die.
Yeah.
After that.
Mr. Never Die. And then you began to connecting with different people. And you met G-Love, met Animes.
Yeah.
And
I noticed I was complaining a lot.
You were complaining a lot?
Yeah, as a rapper, I was like...
For what, though?
My career would take off if I had this. My career would take off if I had this. So that's when I finally like, you know what? I'm tired of complaining about it. Let me try to be something different. Let me try to start putting on shows. Let me try to network with certain people and get them to collab together and things like that. And that's when I think my career really started to change. Because then I wasn't just worried about myself as an artist. I was more worried about the culture and how we all could grow.
So you begin to do a little bit more service to the community of hip-hop and different things like that and notice things start happening. Because if you start complaining, you start believing yourself whether you want it or not. And it keeps you, it might just be words that you're saying, but the programming is just keeping you in the same place. You're not changing. You just keep complaining. They complain. You start
become a
believing
victim.
it. Not only that, but you start believing your complaints. You know, it might be just like a little rant. But if you say it enough times, you start believing that is true.
Real talk.
So when did that light bulb moment just stop? What happened? What did you see? What did you hear that made you say, you know what? I'm complaining. Somebody brought it to your attention like, damn, you be complaining too much.
Nah, I mean, I'm always trying to evolve myself as a person. Like, I'm always thinking I'm the hardest person on myself. I'm thinking, what did I do wrong here? How can I fix it? How can I make it better? So
one of those conversations that you had, like, bro, you be complaining too much.
Yeah, stop complaining so much and go out there and fix it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to your, I think we covered all your career.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, 23 years?
23 years.
23 years, but in a nutshell, it's kind of sort of how your career's been and you still maintain it. In fact, you have a brand new album. It's an 11 tracks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's called Self-Titled, Mr. Never Die Album. Tell me about the cover. It's from what I've seen, it's all black, but you can see the small logo circle on it.
Yeah.
Tell me the creative idea. Why did you want to go in that route? What does it mean to you?
Well, first, my whole goal, we were gonna release Depression as a single that drops the same day as the album.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Portia to do the cover for me, and I liked it. But the only thing, I didn't think it was a proper time. Like, it was starting to be the beginning of summer, and it looked very Halloweenish because I did my whole video like it's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, this ain't gonna work. That's not a good way to market this album. And then,
It would have been good on Halloween.
yeah, on Halloween it would have been perfect, but it wasn't Halloween. So then I started thinking, and I was like, what's something creative I could do? And I started thinking about Metallica Black Album. And we had already said that we're going to name it self-titled. So, of course, Metallica Black Album is their self-titled album. And that's how I even kind of got the cover with the logo at the bottom. Yeah. It was very inspired by that, which was one of their best albums.
So who's the logo? Was that always your logo, or is something newer that you had?
Nah, that's been my logo.
But it's almost like a watermark, almost transparent, but you can always see because it almost looks all black.
Yeah.
But then you have the corner, right hand, lower hand corner, you see it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, Dope FX out of Mexico, he did that for me.
All the way to Mexico.
Yeah, that boy Cole, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, by the way, go check out Depression video on his YouTube channel, Depression singing. I see the Metallica influence, the rock influence that coming in.
Yeah.
That MTV vibes coming through.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, I got bored, bro.
Yeah.
Like, people always expect me to do Texas songs, and which I represent that, but at the same time, I get bored. I want to be creative, you know what I'm saying? Like, one song I did a country hook, and then trying to use auto-tune more, just experimenting.
Yeah, that's dope. I like the singing part. I like the singing.
Appreciate the feature.
So we have, again, 11 features. You have R.I.P. Gangsta Boo. I got to interview her years ago on a show. It was crazy interview. Really good. It sucks that I wasn't able to grab the footage for me to just have. But yeah.
It's not on YouTube or anything? Man. I would love to see that.
I have a picture with her, but I lost it that I didn't get a chance to hear because she kind of shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe just me and the way that people are just willing to tell me things, even though sometimes I just know how to ask. But she told me things that I like, how she feel kind of strange sometimes whenever she's making music because she has kids now. And that kind of sort of the content of the songs might not be matching what she is as a mom. And things like that, they were like, God, I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
Like, and I was kind of for a little bit, but I had to like, keep my composure. Too real, bro.
Yeah, that grown conversation, man.
Grown conversation, real. She was talking about doing makeup at the time. It's dope. So you got a feature with her.
Yeah,
and it's on your album. And then you have another legend in the game, Powda.
Miss Powda. Yeah.
Yeah. How did that connection come to be? Well, actually, let's go back and we'll go back in Powda.
Okay.
How did Gangsta Boo feature come to be?
Man, that was another thing. Like when I listened to Tupac, All Eyes on Me. One of the first albums I listened to is 3 6 Mafia, Mystic Styles, when I started getting more into rap.
Yeah.
And then I got high with my homeboys, and then we went back to their crib. We were at the basketball court. We got high. Then we went back to his crib, and he started playing that Mystic Styles. And it was just Gangsta Boo grabbed me from the beginning. So I always wanted to give homage to her. So that's why I got a feature from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. And how did the connection happen? How did you get a hold of her? Or
I hit her up on MySpace, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And she said, here's the business.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And then, of course, Powda. She hasn't been, not that I know of, too active, but recently she's been making a comeback more. In fact, you're actually a manager for Powda now.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But how did that feature come to be? Is that because y'all connected to the management part, or you've been wanting to work with her?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Powda, man, since back in 2000 days, you know what I'm saying? So I got a feature from her. Me and Poetic Thug, we did a feature with her like 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. And then I always wanted to do another feature with her, but then she retired for a long time. And I saw her at Day of Unity like 3 years ago, I think.
Right.
And then I had a quick conversation with her. She was with the Hemp Sisters, which I work a lot with. So I was like, hey, introduce me to Powda real quick. So she introduced me. You
didn't want to go and introduce yourself?
Well, because, I don't know, I just didn't want to be weird.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we have to tell somebody else.
Well, it's a common friend, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so they introduced you to her.
Yeah.
And then
I just asked her if she was coming back or not. She's like, nah, I don't think so. But
yeah,
so then she
left
started
it at
getting
that.
then she started getting legend awards and stuff and started popping around more where we were at. And then she's like, well, let's get that feature in. So
She's the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
Said because you had talked to her about it and said, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
yeah.
And what was it that you liked about her as far as her as an artist?
I mean, I liked her style, especially because she'd always clap back on the dudes.
Mm.
So that's why when she was always representing for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I like Gangsta Boo. That's why I would like Trina, because the dude would go hard and then the female would go hard.
Yeah.
And like I've tried to do so many songs with people like that, and the females don't want to do it. But so with Hell No, I knew Powda would be down, and I showed her my verse. And she went in, man, wrote 2 verses.
I know her for her vocals. I know her for her singing part, and I know some of the catchier songs. But her flow is it's immaculate, bro. She's really good with it. Her freaking tonality, her freaking just spitting bars, like bro.
Her new album, crazy good. Man. We almost done with it.
So she has an album coming up soon. Nice. So that's how that feature comes to be. And then of course you have Manic Beats, which is also the producer for the whole. Is that every single
the whole album? He recorded everything, mixed and mastered everything.
So that's all him, and he featured on the song.
Yeah,
that's dope. And then of course you have Miss G Love in the house. She's over here killing Gangsta Love in the house. And then also you have Anna Mace.
Yeah.
Ronnie Spencer. Also, right?
Yeah.
Is that all the features?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, finally got some songs together with New Wave.
Yeah, finally.
Not one song together, all y'all, but you know, y'all have some songs.
Yeah.
Man, how did that go?
Man, it was dope, man. It was crazy. Energy was crazy, especially when G-Lo did Judging Me.
Yeah.
She went crazy on that hoe. And that's when Powda had actually came for the feature, and she saw G-Lo do Judging Me, and then she felt so energized, she went home and wrote a whole rap.
Really?
That she called Energy, and then she got G-Love on that song. So,
really?
Yeah.
So that's going to be coming up on her album?
Yeah.
Nice. That's dope. Okay, so you have all the songs. I'm going to list them. Let me know if I missed anything. So you have Duel to Death, Judging Me, Hell Nah, Need My Space, that's Anna Mace, Depression, Sick in the Head, Want to Crash, If I Die Tonight, Pandora's Box, and Leave Me in the Dark. Is that all right?
Yeah.
And how long did it take the whole process for you to make the album?
I think I wrote everything in like about a month.
The whole thing?
Yeah, he wanted to do it in a week. So I hit the ground running. I did like a quick 5 songs. And then it started slowing down a little bit. But I was really excited to get in the studio because it's been a couple years since I've been able to work on music. So I was really excited. So I hit the ground running, was writing. Depression was one of the first songs I did like real quick.
Was it something that you had written?
No.
Or everything's brand new?
I always write to each specific beat.
Okay. And as far as so tell me about Depression, because I know that on one of the interviews I've seen that you're dealing with things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember from the first interview we had that some of those sessions, those studio sessions are good for therapy, or it's therapeutic for you because it helps you, whatever is it that you have going on, it helps you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Was it, what would you recommend with anybody that's dealing with depression that doesn't really have an answer, doesn't really know why they feel in this way, and how can they even get a little bit of energy to do something to try to get out of that?
I mean, there's a lot of different things. I mean, you got to get out of bed. That's the first thing, because you're going to want to stay in bed. You're going to want to just be at home, be unsociable. Like, you got to get up and start moving around and just try to build your confidence. Definitely start to think more positive, because we're so hard on ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And then you start feeling like you all alone, that nobody understands you. And before you know it, negative stuff just piling up. And before you know it, you don't want to leave your house. So just find stuff that builds your confidence, things that you like to do. I mean, don't isolate yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you're just going to feel sorry for yourself and things are going to get worse.
That's crazy. Because I know one of the interviews you said that, like, I don't know if it got dark, but it got dark for you to where if you kept on that path, you would have not seen Anna Mace and Crystal Pop and freaking
in New York. Yeah,
doing their thing.
yeah,
So it got really dark for you at one time.
yeah.
And did you ever know the reason why? I don't know how depression works, to be honest. I feel like I probably dealt with it a little bit, but do you know some of the events that led to you being in that position that maybe you could have avoided to, just not having to go through that?
I mean, it was just like a series of unfortunate events just kept hitting back to back to back. And then it just kind of felt like, man, is life ever going to be different than this? Like every time I come up, am I going to get knocked back down?
Yeah.
And then start over again, and then start over again, and start over again. I'm just tired of it, man. Tired of people feeling betrayed and things like that. So,
and though those led to this, but fortunately you were able to release a full album.
Yes.
And was that very helpful for you to be able to be in a better place?
Very, very.
Yeah.
And it helped my mindset a lot because I got to let it out. I got to let all that built up, just nasty shit out, and then talk about it, think about why I felt certain ways. I mean, sometimes I'm my own therapist, I just got to talk to myself and understand, why do you feel like this? Because nobody knows me better than me. So I go back to my past. Why does this trigger me? Why does this do this,
So after this full session of this album, what did you find out on the other side about yourself that you didn't know?
My resilience, which I do know, but still.
Sometimes it's clouded by other things.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
happens.
Yeah, it's like you fall in the hill, you fall deeper and deeper in there. And then you got to find new ways to get out, And each time the path gets longer and longer. But that's why you gotta forgive yourself. That's why you gotta forgive other people, and you gotta learn how to move on from things.
Absolutely. You're right. I mean, I know you're all about unity, and I sometimes feel weird about it, but I know there's 8 billion people, right? It's kind of crazy for all of us to unite. But you had the right mindset as far as previously before the like-minded individuals. That's why there's certain people that are lining up with the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even though you want to keep all of them, it's just not everybody was raised the same. Not everybody has the same ideas. Not everybody has the same principles.
Not
everybody has the desire to be that. And maybe they're just about themselves, even though they might portray themselves something else. Eventually, you weave all them out, and then the unity will be within the people that are like-minded like you. They have the same feeling, the same desire in their heart for you as you have for them.
Yeah.
Because we can't all be united as much as we want it to be. It's just not going to happen. It's just crazy as it is.
But I feel like if I say it enough, like-minded individuals are going to find me.
There are, and they have so far. I mean, last time you came here, it was you, Anime's G-Love, and then Powda was in there, and now Powda is here. And then the producer you've been working with, I don't know if you were working with at the time, but somehow y'all ended up together. And then, everybody else is around you that's, kind of sort of aligned together. So that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty dope.
Appreciate it, man.
And how was the selection for the beats? Was he making them in the spot, or he had a...
That was the fastest I ever picked beats.
Really?
Yeah. Really, it was just like the first 8 he showed me. We started working on it.
Boom, I want those 8.
Yeah. But I really wanted to do something different. At first, we had talked about doing a half rock, half rap. But then everything just kind of merged together into one, which was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have a little bit of everything. You're right. The whole 11 tracks, you get a different feel about different things. And then you have the powerful ladies on the tracks, too. They go in and do their thing, too, give it a different flavor.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Go check it out. So for anybody that wants to stream your music, where can they go find it?
Man, it's everywhere. Everywhere.
Spotify, Apple Music,
YouTube, Amazon, everywhere.
You name it. And it's Mr. Neva, Neva.
Yeah.
Die, self-titled, and go get it. You can't miss it. Is pretty much like a black thumbnail with a small logo on it. You'll be able to tell it's yours.
Yeah.
That's dope. So congratulations, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
How was you had a release party?
Yeah.
You had I didn't get it. I didn't get an invite, but you had a release party, and you had a very exclusive. It was only a few people that were invited. Can you tell us about that night? How did it go, and who were the ones that were in attendance?
The one in Houston?
Yes, the one in Houston.
Man, we had a whole bunch. Tommy G came through, so that was the first time him and Powda have seen each other in a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like over a decade. Shadow was there. Man, it was just a whole bunch of love. Those people from Most Hated there. There's a bunch of the OGs came through. So
Young, what's his name?
Lil Young.
Lil Young.
Yeah, Lil G. Lil G was there. Howard Yella came through.
Nice.
Powder.
And that night just consisted of them playing your track, or you just mingling,
Nah,
interacting.
Everybody performed.
Everybody performed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the venue at?
It was called Treble.
Treble.
Yeah, Treble VIP.
And then you had another one at another place, another release party.
Yeah, then we did one here in Dallas at Nubius.
Yeah. And how was that?
It was dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, G-Lo killed it, man. She jumped on the picnic tables. Everybody was showing her love.
I didn't get anybody for that either. I want a personal name. I want to see it on your social media.
I was posting it and posting it and posting it.
Nah, no, but screw that. I want to get a
personal
DM,
invite.
Come through. Nah, I probably was doing something, bro. But
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. I'm glad that you had that showed up over there, and
Mhm.
same here.
Yeah.
You know, because technically you rep both.
Yeah.
Because you were raised here for the most long time,
Mhm.
but then you went to Houston too,
Yeah.
and then a lot of the networking and a lot of the people you've been working over there too. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, love both cities, man.
Yeah, love both cities, definitely. Okay, so the videos. So the leading single was Depression for it, or was
No, that was actually the fourth one. The first one, I released the one with Gangsta Boo, Back to My Old Ways.
Back to My Old Ways.
Yeah, then the second single was with G-Love, The Judge of Me. Then the third one was the one with Anna, Need My Space, and then the fourth one was Depression.
Depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other videos that you're gonna be doing? For
Yeah,
this
we
project?
dropping, Hell No should be dropping here in the next couple of days.
Couple days.
It'll be out by the time this come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all be checking it out with Powda.
Yeah, with Powder.
So go watch, go subscribe to his channel so you don't miss it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Powda making a comeback.
Yeah.
That's what you keep
Killing
saying.
it, man. She killing it.
Bro, she is dope.
Yeah.
Her flow is sick.
Yeah.
Like if you tell her, I said, I mean, I don't know, shit, who the hell is this guy? But you're dope. You're freaking, as I'm telling you,
Yeah,
bro.
we're going to get her on the show in the future.
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to have her. But man,
Already.
her freaking flow is like the attitude.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, the tonality, the delivery,
Yeah.
the freaking the lyrical, like
Yeah.
everything's like, man. I've not known her for the singing part, but it's just like,
Yeah, she plays the piano, everything.
she's musical.
Yeah.
She's musical.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see that you released the actual album all by yourself. There was no distributor. It
No.
was all through City Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the thought on that instead of going with, another one that you worked with before or any other distributor out there?
I mean, we just thought that was the right move to do this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And you're, again, good luck on the project. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate you breaking it down. And
Already got
luck.
over 20,000 streams on Spotify so far.
20,000 streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
That's dope. And I know it's going to keep growing. And yeah, just add it to you playing this. If you know somebody, just add it in there, 20,000. And how long has this been? What was the date, the actual official
I don't
release date?
remember the exact date, but it's been about a month.
It's been about a month.
Yeah.
It's pacing really good.
Yeah.
It's pacing really
Yeah.
good. Okay, so let's touch up a little bit of a couple things that have happened to you. Your grandfather.
Yeah.
Your grandfather. I see the
Yeah.
post on social media.
Yeah.
How does that make you
This is my
feel?
second one.
Your second one. So
Yeah.
you're a grandfather a second time.
Yeah, I have a grandson and a granddaughter.
Ah.
Yeah, Carter in Kansas.
So it's still special, but
Yeah.
the first one got to be a little bit different. But not that he doesn't differentiate.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the first one probably as your grandfather is just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Is it still kind of the same feeling?
Yeah, I just wish I could see him more,
Mm.
but because I'm in Houston and they over here, so I don't get to see him a lot as much as I would like to. But
You have Zoom. You have
yeah, but they on the country, so it don't work that good.
Starlink. It's
Starlink, yeah.
spicy, but internet.
It's
everywhere.
open
Well, Starlink is the internet provider from Tesla.
SpaceX, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can buy the internet, and it's everywhere. Satellite internet. You can just.
That's what's up.
It's. I don't remember how much the price, but last time I checked, it was the device itself was like $500 something. I'm not doing any promotion because we'll take this stuff off. But the service itself was like about $100.
Okay.
You get it in internet anywhere.
Damn,
And
that's
it's
what's
freaking deserted island. You'll
Yeah.
probably get service.
Already.
That's pretty dope. Okay, so now, how did the conversation begin with Powda for you to be the manager, her manager? Now, so you're the manager.
Well, first she came, and then her and Manic started talking about doing the album.
Mm-hmm.
So then they asked me to manage the project.
Mm.
So just kind of be that extra set of years in the studio with them and and beat selection and stuff like that. I mean, she pretty much picked all her beat selection and all that, but just kind of putting my input in because different ears are good, you know?
Yeah.
You always want to have as many, well, not as many opinions, but valid opinions.
Right.
On
People that have been 23 plus years to know a little something about music.
Yeah.
So she respected you enough. She knew about you to know that you knew what you was talking about.
Yeah.
What did she know about you? How did she hear it? Besides meeting you, have she heard anything different about you? Anybody telling it?
I mean, she'd have to tell that.
Yeah. I would ask her that. I'm sure I remember that question. So, and then after that, yeah, worked on that, continued working on the project, and then when did the conversation to be like the actual manager make it official?
Probably about halfway through the project.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was that conversation like?
No, I just kind of asked her what she'd think about it. Me managing her.
So you proposed the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I brought it up with G Love because G Love's my partner. G Love was with it and Powda was with it, so we made it happen.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And y'all been hitting the road often.
Yeah.
Y'all been all over the place.
Yeah. So man, the fans happy Powda back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can see it whenever they go out.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all go hit the road.
She's been gone, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of people didn't know they see her again. Just like when SPM gets out, people are going to be excited because a lot of people never saw Southpaw Mexican perform.
Oh, yeah, he's going to sell out.
Yeah.
He's going to be... I know people got different opinions about the man, but that dude was talented.
Yeah, for real.
He's still too
He can
talented.
Control a crowd, for real, man.
He's super talented.
A sea of people.
Yeah, you can't deny the fact that dude still... Again, I know people have their different opinions about what it is and believe whatever you want to. You have your own rights, but as far as the talent itself and the music, that dude was... Man,
yeah.
He was a prodigy. A lot of people don't know he was a prodigy violinist.
Yeah.
That fool knows about music.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, think about it. He knows about Powder, knows how to play. Like, they know about music. Yeah. They just not like some of us that just get on a beat that somebody made and rap on it. You know? But they actually know.
That's what I do.
Keys and things like that. You know. No, I was talking about personally. But they know about certain things that they're doing. That's just it's a different level. It's a different perspective. And as far as making music, because they know, I think he kind of sort of, SPM also played the piano a little or something like that.
I know he produced a lot.
Yeah. That dude was a beast. But hey, I don't doubt it. He's going to sell out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I believe so too.
So we're running short on time. I think we cover everything. Looking at my time. Oh, we have a Amber Alert.
Uh-oh.
Hope everybody's okay. All right, real quickly before I let you go, thank you very much again for coming out. I know you were here, but it's still a long-ass drive.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you here. And again,
appreciate you having me, bro.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. I told you the last time. I wasn't kidding when I said to come through whenever you have something going on, and I'd be more than happy to make it happen.
Already.
And all your social media, where can people find you at?
Man, everything Mr. Neva died. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, MrNevadie.
Mr. Never Die. Any shout outs that you have?
Man, shout out to Texican Clothing, brand new brand ambassador. Shout out to G Love, Powda, Animes, everybody.
Everybody, your producer?
Yeah, Manic Beats, yeah. All that.
Before they come at you, hey, bro,
love you, Tia.
Shout out to Corazon. We had an interview. It was pretty dope.
And much love to Crispin, man. Appreciate you, bro.
I got you, bro. I told y'all. I don't be playing this stuff, man. I be with anybody. Okay, so what is an important lesson that you learned doing the music business or the entire music business that you've done, or even just the music, the business that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else?
Man, just believe in yourself, believe in your gut. Don't listen to what anybody else got to say because they don't understand what you're trying to do, the things you're trying to accomplish. So just keep moving in your purpose and quit doubting yourself so much because you know what you're doing.
Absolutely. And normally, this is a different question. You weren't in, and y'all didn't ask that question when y'all were here, but I added extra questions.
Okay.
So normally I wake up, or during the day at least, I remind myself of a guru that I heard is like, I'm not immortal, I am mortal, and I will die one day. And that's not to scare me or terrify me that, I'm going to go. It's just to realize that I'm not here forever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be here forever because you'll never die. But I'm not. But that's just to make me realize that, it's a blink of an eye and we're not going to be here. And so I remind myself of that. With that, after everything's said and done, I wish you a long, prosperous life and successful. However, when everything's said and done, what do you hope people will think or feel about your life or think about your life?
that I helped out as much as I could. That I tried to help elevate things. Just be a kind person.
Kind person. That's amazing. I appreciate you very much being here, man. I really do, truly appreciate it. I know that we keep thinking each other, but it is, as far as you like being a kind person, a nice person, and willing to be able to connect with people, you know, and I'm pretty sure you have your issues with people that don't see it that way or want to profit out of the equity, the sweat equity that you put in, but that doesn't discourage to the fact that you continue to work and help people. And I think that you're from the time that we met and we talked to now, of course, you know, you're being moving around and, you know, getting to the right people so that way you can, you know, at that time you were not even doing a project and now you have a full project.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to me that you are able to not only manage and move around and still wanted to connect with people because that's your desire to be able to have a project out. And of course, you know, with everything being so easy and accessible now online, that it sucks because you can't sell CDs to try and get profit out of it. But it's great that you're able to touch the masses all over the world. Without a doubt, Mr. Never Die. 23's in the game. You're a global Latin factor. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
it very much. This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We are people. We are the spice in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time. Peace. You are still here. Thank you. Thank you very much for checking out another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. Every subscription, every like, every comment helps us a lot, and you are really appreciated for that. Thank you. You are bringing awareness to more Latino content, more Latino people that are doing and fulfilling their dreams, and for that, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
De la Vigo, walks like a pero but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana and reach from Puerto Rico on a pirate ship, you don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and fame, but Juan is flamingo is not walking the same. Balague de la flauta and banana.